In this video, I'm going to cover the most salient things from DeafBlind class this term. I've found that experiences tend to be the most memorable and impacting, and so I'm going to cover 5 of those. The following contains several video clips featuring my initial thoughts and reactions immediately following each experience. So without further ado, let's just jump right in to my first overwhelming interaction with multiple members of the deafblind community in a single night.
Deafblind class, tonight we had 9 deafblind people come, and we just chatted with them. I felt like they were all famous, and I just didn't even know what to say to them. John Lee Clark was there, and Yulitza was there.
One note of clarification, my disposition in that video was not from lack of enthusiasm, but rather just sheer exhaustion, because it was a lot. But I chose this particular moment, this experience, because it was our first opportunity to actually apply what we were learning in class. All of the knowledge we had built and compiled about things like ABC and seating positions and having heard about back channeling, all of that was being used in real life. And so it was the first moment of understanding that it wasn't just words on paper, or that the things we were learning were actually practical and how to use those.
Hello, my friends. This is Lainey reporting from her finished excursion to the grocery store. John is the teacher who's in residency right now. He's here for another week, and he needed to go do grocery shopping, so that's that's what we did today.
That first trip to the PT house and to the grocery store was incredibly significant for me because I went in with very little understanding and much trepidation, because I had no confidence in my skills whatsoever. But like a baby bird pushed from the nest, I stretched my wings and found that I was more prepared than I thought. John was also incredibly patient and constructive, and ultimately, in the words of CM, nobody died. I did, however, have my first face-to-face encounter with stealing John's autonomy. So,
for example, I took the receipt from the cashier and handed it to him, and he said no. I can take the receipt myself. So he handed the receipt back to the cashier and then took it from her himself. The whole mantra is doing things with, not for.
Learning that phrase, with, not for, was the most salient thing that I learned. It shifted my perspective of the whole operation, that my role isn't to come in and help, but it's to co-navigate. So I had a great first experience at the PT house, but my second trip was less smooth.
Greetings from Lainey at the PT house, round 2. It was so awesome. It was so awesome, and they're so cool, and I feel like an idiot.
But Lainey, why would you say that? I mean, maybe I was just a little nervous.
And I was just so nervous. Just a straight, base level nervousness. And then the nervousness, that made me nervous as well. Because I was nervous, I just totally forgot everything that we had talked about in class. I was nervous. I was just so nervous.
Safe to say I was not a Zen turtle on that one. There were several factors at play in that whole situation, but ultimately it forced me to do some sticky self-reflection, which I'll talk about next.
The deaf-blind people that I was supposed to be a sighted guide for were seeing things before I saw. They knew what they were looking for, and I didn't. And so, it's this particular brand of pretzel chip, and I didn't know. And so they found it before, and it's this weird feeling of well, wait, that, I dropped the ball because that was my job. I didn't do my job. But then on the other hand, they're able to do that themselves. They don't need me. And so I guess a balancing of my pride on that one.
Well, there you go. I came into this term totally ignorant about the deafblind community. And now I know a little bit more about it and a little bit more about myself, which I suppose is all I could really ask for. I'm thankful for all of these experiences that I've been given through this class, and I'm thankful I got to do them with you. Catch you later.